What's the point of this, Chantal? You're eating food that you should not be eating as a person with diabetes and other issues. What's the point of a calorie counter at this point? Oh, I guess you're doing your part.
Hi guys, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. So today I have Substop, not Subway, not to be confused with Subway.
It's the same restaurant. I looked it up.
Much the same, except this is local.
There's like a whole lawsuit issue, I guess, going on with that Substop chain. I was reading about it. It was purchased by some group. I can't remember. I posted it, my community page. It's basically Subway, just a different name.
Substop. And I have a Kinza Cola from Saudi Arabia. And
Saudi. Which one, Chantal? Say it correctly, please.
Ketchup. How many calories? 131 calories for this bag. This, I don't know. I don't care.
What a diabetic-friendly meal.
You know what I mean.
That's funny. She doesn't care about the soda, which is probably more deadly for her to drink that can of soda than versus the bag of chips. But she doesn't care about the can of soda because she probably, in her brain, she thinks, oh, it's a liquid. The calories don't matter as much as if it were a solid food, for example. That's probably the logic in her brain.
This is my breakfast / lunch.
Wow.
I'm so tired today, so it's like a PJ day. I love these PJs. Oh my gosh. Now I'm experimenting. I got a tuna, 12-inch tuna. Oh, that's a huge chunk of onion.
12-inch tuna, that's what she said.
I wanted to try onions on my tuna, but I'm chickening out a bit. Like, there don't have to be so many huge...
What in the HE double hockey sticks is in that sandwich? Is it covered in... I can't identify. Is that cheese? Is that salad dressing? What is that? That looks disgusting.
Chunks. You know what I mean?
Anyway. Excuse me.
Growing up, I used to hate onions. I used to pretend I was, like, allergic, kind of. Like, just so they wouldn't forget not to put onions, like... Ugh.
You're really good at pretending
allergic because it would make me gross
allergies.
Out. But
like Amber Lynn and her egg allergy.
So I have a tuna on Italian bread with like tomato, lettuce. It's just like fully loaded mixed cheese, Southwest sauce.
Cheese on tuna.
Mayo, salt,
no,
pepper.
thank you. I'm actually an old school person. I do not like mixing dairy with anything that comes out of the water. So no fish and cheese, no fish, no milk. Like that's just no bueno for me. Or mixing animals. I won't eat beef with pork. I don't want to mix species. No dairy with meat. That's just me. I feel like they're gonna cause a war in my stomach, so I don't choose to do that. Or I choose not to do that.
Lettuce. Let's say lettuce, tomato. Let's go, yalla. Beauty bite.
Yum, 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 yum. That looks disgusting.
It's not toasted.
Look at the sleeve, yo.
Man.
Man.
That's good with all those veggies. Usually I just don't get as many veggies, especially not tomato.
There's if she pulls that up again.
Tuna that like gives me the ick, but now I love it.
Tuna that gives you the ick. Let me think. Where have we heard this before? Oh, I know. I remember. It was at that time that you ate Deez tuna. What? That looks disgusting. Is that like Cheese Whiz in there? What, or nacho cheese from Taco Bell in that sandwich? That looks disgusting. Yuck. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, wow. You're such a classy lady. This is the diabetes. She has no feeling in her arms anymore. That neuropathy has set in.
Of Substop, like how they
Yeah, there's a whole lawsuit with Substop.
Get away with like transforming the franchise. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Google it. It's interesting if you're into like law cases.
Ah, my pajamas.
Those hideous pajamas.
It's just one of them days, you know?
Too bad. Just one of those days. What kind of day? A filthy day? That's a normal day for you.
Yummy lunch. Oh, there's an onion coming. Okay,
That's what she
it tastes
said.
like. Here goes.
Fun fact, when I was pregnant with my first child, my daughter, who's like almost 30 now, I could not stand the smell of onions, the taste of onions, or consume onions. I would immediately vomit. It's so weird. With each of my children, because I've had four children. They've all been different. Like as far as like the cravings, what I could and couldn't eat. It's just weird.
It's not bad.
I think every normal person puts like chopped onions in tuna salad. I don't know.
Quite nice.
I actually prefer chives.
Quite nice, actually.
Oh, quite nice. Oh. Sorry about the eating noises. It's impossible for her to eat with her mouth closed. Or, have her mouth closed at all in life.
Man, I
I
usually
guess.
get the Parmesan oregano bread, but bread.
Ew. Why do you smell everything?
I'm a bread sniffer.
You sniff everything. It's disgusting.
I sniff the bread.
And if it smelled bad, you would still eat it.
Remember people like... There was this huge like controversy where people were claiming that Subway's had some crazy rumors, like their bread is like made up of like 65% yoga mats.
No, it was a chemical that's... See, this is where you're like one of those people that starts like you hear something and then you distort what you've heard and then you tell it to somebody else, and then that's where like a urban legend starts, or a myth or whatever. It was a chemical that was used in the making of mats and things like that they were putting into the bread. So it is an actual true story. And then they ended up changing the recipe for their bread.
They like tested the bread and found that there was like gym mats in it or something.
That's not true. Once again,
so my brain would go back to those stupid
lies.
mats with the Velcro in gym class.
Like you ever participated in gym? I actually liked those mats when I was in gym, especially when we did track and field and you did the jumping. I can't even, like, my brain is freezing right now. Not the long jump, but like the pole vault jumping. And they would sit out in the sun and they would get nice and warm. And when you would jump on them, because they're so soft and sitting in the sun, such a comfortable place to land. I love those mats.
Another rumor was that the tuna wasn't tuna. I remember like some news reporter,
because they bulk it up with other fish,
or someone went like to a Subway,
like
there's just like
fish.
this kid working there who could give a crap less about what's in the tuna. And they're like, can we go back in the back and see the can of tuna that's used?
You literally have nothing to talk about.
Goes back there and is like, it's a giant can of tuna. Like, sure enough, it says like ingredients: tuna, and like water or something like that. I don't know.
Isn't that a normal ingredient in a can of tuna? It's either water or oil. So what's abnormal about that, Chantal? I think the controversy was is they were adding other types of fish besides tuna maybe in there, Chantal. I don't think water is a controversial ingredient.
Like, what else would it be?
It could be lots
Maybe
of
some kind of other
things.
fish? Who cares? Kind of like imitation crab. Their tuna tastes like every other can of tuna I've ever eaten.
That's not true.
All tuna tastes the same to me.
No,
There's
it
like chunk light
doesn't.
tuna and water, skipjack tuna and sunflower oil. I don't even care.
That's not true. All tuna doesn't taste the same. You could literally go to any store right now, and then you'll have like the chunk light tuna, or you'll have like the albacore tuna. Two completely different textures, two completely different tastes. And especially if one is packed in oil versus one that's packed in water, and as well as like depending on the country that it comes from, it also will have a different taste. And not only that, it's important to know where your tuna is sourced because you have to make sure it's dolphin safe tuna and safe for the environment. I'm sure Chantal doesn't give a crap about dolphin safe tuna or probably even knows about it.
Flake light tuna and corn oil. I just buy whatever's on sale.
Wow, it says a lot right there. Excuse me.
If it tastes good, that's all that matters. People outrage over like remember the McDonald's.
Oh, and another thing I'd like to bring up about Subway, you know, the little rumors and things that go on about Subway. Subway also had that issue with pedophile. I think there's a documentary on Netflix. Jared, the spokesperson for Subway, was a creepy pedophile. I'm sure Chantal probably loved him.
Chicken nuggets factory. I don't know if it was like on an episode of How It's Made, but or if it was just like a random video, but it was like people were like grossed out because they saw that chicken nuggets were made with like a pink sludge, which was the chicken
Well,
meat.
yeah.
But if you take a chicken breast, okay, and the jalapenos are nice. If you try to make your own chicken nuggets, and you put a chicken breast in the food processor, it's gonna look like pig sludge.
No, it's not. Another falsity. No, it's not. If you took a chicken breast and chopped it up in the food processor, it wouldn't look like pink sludge. What will look like pink sludge is if you take the crap parts of the chicken, thighs, let's just say the fattier types of meat, those will look like pink sludge, and that's typically what McDonald's does. Is they don't use choice cuts for the chicken nuggets. And yeah, people were grossed out. People that have not spent any time on a farm, an actual working farm, and know where their food comes from, yeah, they're going to be grossed out by what actually, you know, how you get your food, how the food gets to the store, you know, how things are killed, how things are processed. Yeah, everybody should learn about where their food comes from, how it's made, whatever. Yeah, knowledge is key. Well, feeder video. The noise for the feeders.
Who knew gym mats were so delicious?
Man, Salah should try to feed her some of that. Maybe some poo-poo.
Anyway.
She probably wouldn't be able to tell. Why are you staring at the food?
Yeah,
So
it's
weird.
Like tuna they mix with mayo, I think.
You think? Can't believe she finished that sandwich. I wonder if she has a backup sandwich for the backup sandwich. I can't, like, I would not be able to sit there while she's eating. I would probably punch her in the throat. I'm sorry. I can't with the noises.
So yeah. What are you guys doing with your Saturday? Are you having a pajama day?
No. No. She's literally 40 years old having a pajama day. The only time if I spend time in my pajamas is if I have the flu. And that's rare because I wash my hands and I try to stay pretty healthy so that I don't get the flu. But other than that, no. It would make me literally sick to my stomach or just feeling icky to just get up and just stay in my pajamas. I can't do it. Won't do it. Not gonna do it.
We woke up today and looked at each other. And
Sure.
we're both like, are we gonna go out today? Nah, let's get in PJs. And order out for today.
Oh, for
Order
today.
lunch and
Sure.
pickles. Subway has good pickles. Sub stop. But their food tastes exactly the same.
Because it's the same place. Disgusting.
No, it's good. And cheese.
Can you imagine she's eating that tuna and then she probably wipes her hands on those hideous pajamas, walks around with the natural smell of tuna already, and then with tuna essence on her clothing.
From the first season. I want to watch the second season.
Is that all you do is watch seasons of shows? Exciting. Why so many jump cuts?
I'm trying to find another series that's really good.
My
Has anyone
600
seen the
Pound Life
series
is a
Dark?
good
Is it
series.
good?
You should watch that.
Or is it like a really slow burn? I've seen Stranger Things. I'm looking for something creepy. I've seen
Isn't that her
Haunting
room?
of Hill House, The Bly Manor. I haven't seen The Fall of the House of Usher. I don't know if that's good or not. I like the story.
You can totally tell that
Alice
she has no life because all she talks about is food and stupid shows from Netflix. That's literally all she's doing.
I tried watching Midnight Mass, but I just can't get into it.
I mean,
It's
are
really
you
hard for me to
supposed
get
to be
into
watching those
anything
type of
these days.
shows, Chantal? Isn't that haram?
I want to start reading, but I used to be like up to date on most Stephen King stories that came out.
BS.
But like, I want. He's so prolific. Like, how many stories has he come out with since the last one I've known? Like, I think the last one I knew of was like Mr. Mercedes.
Did you read that? What about Thinner? You should read
Did
Thinner.
Doctor Sleep come out before or after that? That was a good movie. I love how they use the original like soundtrack throughout.
She is so boring.
Because Kubrick's The Shining had the best eerie soundtrack. And that's what Stephen King doesn't seem to get. When he didn't like
What?
Kubrick's version, reimagining of it. It's like your made-for-TV one is worse. There's no like
Because
creepy,
Kubrick kind of
there's nothing
changed
notable or
Stephen King's
like,
original novel.
memorable
That's
about
why.
it, you know?
I can't remember what's the composer. Somebody remind me in the comments. That Kubrick used in The Shining. I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. But there was a lot left out of The Shining versus the novel.
How he didn't like Kubrick's version, I'll never know.
What do you mean? Did you even read the novel? You would know if you did. I'm not saying The Shining is a bad movie. It isn't, but it's not the same as the book or the novel.
He didn't like how Kubrick made Jack Torrance, the main character, pretty much a villain right from the beginning. And, you know, the made-for-TV one made it seem more like the place possessed Jack.
Because
here's the thing.
Because if you read the novel, Jack Torrance is how could I put it? He's a tortured soul. He was abused as a child by his own father. Kind of had hatred towards his mother because of things that had happened. And then started to abuse alcohol and things like that. So he was a tortured soul. I really didn't like, if you read the novel, you kind of don't see him as the villain.
That's the whole thing. Like, that's the whole point. The fact that Jack was already, he was the perfect victim for possession from the Overlook Hotel, because he already had that broken character.
He wasn't a perfect victim.
The evil in. You know what I mean? King even wrote that in his On Writing book. When he was talking about haunted houses, you know, he said haunted houses are like batteries. They're a psychic vehicle. They're batteries, people who are already open.
And that's another thing. If you really dive into the story about Jack Torrance, there's, you know, questions of whether he actually had psychic ability as a young child. And that's why he was able maybe to survive the abuse of his father, as well as the son Danny. He having psychic abilities in the novel, and basically tried to protect his father in the Overlook Hotel with the psychic abilities against the spirit. So there's a whole backstory that she's leaving out, which is a shame.
And vulnerable to possession because of their mental health issues, or their dark past, stuff like that.
Oh, and then fun fact about me, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. As a child, I actually lived in a haunted house. And there were people in my family that were affected by it. There's actually, I think, a couple documentaries about it. I'm not going to say where it was at, but yeah. Things like this do happen as far as like poltergeist activity and hauntings. That shit is real.
Just like the Haunting of Hill House. You had the main character who arrived there and was the perfect victim because of her mental state. Same thing with Jack Torrance, you know.
He was an alcoholic and schizophrenic. Jack Torrance, and a tortured soul. It's not because it made him open. He was just a person that was a lost soul. That's what made him more susceptible to the spirits messing with him. But then he kind of redeemed himself towards the end, if you read the novel.
I was bored with the made-for-TV. I couldn't even watch it. It was so boring. But the book was good.
You did not read the book.
But I actually liked Kubrick's story more.
Said like a person that didn't read the book.
You ever wonder if Stephen King deep down knew that Kubrick's story was a bit better than his? And that's why he didn't like it?
What blasphemy from you against Stephen King. How dare you?
Anyway. Yum. All right. That's it. Breakfast and lunch in one. And now, I have this huge bottle of
I thought
water
she was going to pull up another
that I'm gonna
sandwich.
finish and throughout the next maybe 2 hours.
Oh, look at the baby drinking her bottle.
Just enjoy the day.
Enjoy the day doing not a
I'm not
damn
ashamed to
thing.
admit I enjoy these days.
That's what do you mean?
Pajama party.
What do you mean you enjoy these days? This is what you literally do every day. You do nothing. You do nothing but eat and then maybe live stream and then eat again. What? This time it's just now you've added in pajamas.
Days. Yes. It's actually cold in here. I do it on purpose, though.
That's
I love
called
being cold. I put the AC.
diabetes.
Do you hear it clicking? I put the central air on like 17, and I just love being cozy in like warm pajamas or blankets. We have crisp, fresh new sheets on the bed right now. I did all the laundry. We don't have really any housework to do right now. Maybe rearrange those
Housework?
pillows. So, yeah.
Oh, you did. I see you took my advice. I noticed the pillows are straightened now. Oh, like how much housework? It's two people and a street cat. I mean, how dirty and filthy can that place get, Chantal? How big is that apartment? Like 10 by 12? Come on. Get out of here.
It's these little moments I appreciate, you know? Yeah, these little
You're
moments of
full
like
of
comfort,
crap.
happiness, you know?
LOL.
And just gonna enjoy the day with my husband and my cats and
Oh,
Howie. He was so excited. I gotta film him. Okay, we'll do a
no,
Howie
don't.
extravaganza one of these days. He's so happy when I bring him his cucumbers.
Please, get out of here.
Anyway. Alright guys, so thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.
Well, that was a waste of time. She clearly didn't read, she probably hasn't read of any of Stephen King's novels. You could tell by her comments about it. So I guess that's it for me. So I'll see you when I see you guys. Bye.